Good morning and welcome to Dualitea. I'm your host, Ash, and I am here with Sal and Courtney, and the timing is incredible. So,
Perfect timing.
come on up.
I end up crying again.
No, you're
Hello.
good.
Oh my gosh.
You're good.
I'm so happy to be here with you
morning.
guys
I'm so
today.
happy to have you.
The audience gets the whole introduction today. Good morning.
Girl, the journey even to you was like...
Traffic was rough today, huh? For sure.
Traffic was rough. How are you?
Hi.
Let's see you too.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be here.
I made you tea.
I was so excited
It's
for
so
the tea.
good.
There isn't honey in it. I didn't know what your preference was, so I just didn't. I left it like that. But hey, hi everyone. Would you like some Palo Santo?
Oh, yes.
So, shout out to you getting here despite all odds, and literally upon the intro,
God got me here.
and you know, and that's what it was. Like
God got me here.
we
God.
just finished, you know, praying and like making that space, and you know, talking about how awesome you were before coming and before walking on in. So. But yeah, get yourself into it, you know,
Just gonna
ground
ground down,
yourself.
guys.
Take that time. So in the meantime, to start the pod off, I'm gonna start us off with a little meditation so we could all ground down. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, if you could just take a moment, if it feels right for you, and just close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, and just arrive here into this space. Everything is divine timing. We are all here. Everything is good. All is love.
All is love. All is love.
I'm going to offer the vibrations of the solar plexus bowl today because she wanted to come out. Like, she's just like, yo, like, let's bring in this confidence. Let's bring in this childlike energy. Let's bring in this sunshine. Let's do it, you know? So if you're open to it, to receiving it, just know that that's the intention. The prayer going into it is for us to believe in ourselves, for us to encourage ourselves to be ourselves, to find the beauty in being unique and the beauty in being the same, and the confidence in that, knowing that there is no competition, there is love, there is no one will ever be you, and that's a beautiful thing, and we can acknowledge people for that, for their medicine and the place that they hold, and to just bring that in and call that in a good way. Oh. I'm just taking another moment to take a deep breath in and out. One more time, in through your nose. Hold it. And then out through your mouth. Shaking your shoulders and just getting yourself back into your body, wiggling your fingers, kicking your feet. And when it feels right for you, opening your eyes back up into whatever space you are in. And welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Like I got the light illusion. All right.
Thank you so much for guiding that.
Of course, of course. That's what we're here for. You know, funny enough, like the one before, the podcast before, we ended up starting the pod with a bowl as well, and it was the bowl before, so it was the sacral bowl. So it just all divine, all makes sense,
Very divine.
you know. And so yeah, I'm gonna start off with the intro again. Welcome to the Duality. Good morning. I'm your host Ash. I'm here with Courtney and Sal. Thank y'all for being here.
Sit closer to the mic and really tap in with you guys
Yes,
today.
yes. Pull on up.
Oh, I have so much on my heart that I want to share with everyone.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited to make the space for that.
Us. This is for everyone.
I mean, sis, you could spark it right off. I'm here. We're here.
We're ready.
We're ready for you.
Well, I was like, just went through the ultimate of the healthy feminine just now in the car on the way here to you. I just turned on the gospel and praised God, cried, released, was so grateful, was just in such gratitude and realization. We found, I was driving with one of my friends, one of my partners, Lisa Sansista van, and she was like, we were in my dad's car. The radio doesn't work in there because he broke off his antenna. My dad loaned us like his OG vehicle to like start hustling right now, because you know, cash is in the business, but we working hard, like just to expand ourselves, just to keep going. And my dad is like, hold down the car, and Lisa's like, yo, your dad has these dope CDs in his console that we could just play. And I'm like, what? He has CDs? She's like, yeah, me and John, we were going through them the other day, pull it out, and I see a CD that's it's a Brooklyn Methodist Tabernacle, just like a message. And I'm like, first I played something called I am worthy and I am worthy and of value or something. It was like it had like an Indian beat to it, and it was so beautiful. And it was this woman singing about just like, she was like, all things are fair through God. I'm just here, and through living through God, it's just like it all happened so fast. Like this just happened, and I'm just here, like just going through this. And we smoking lavender, this beautiful OG that we got from one of our landlords in Long Beach. He blessed Antonio yesterday with some weed for us to smoke, and he rolls it with lavender in it. And we're just smoking on that. And that's what I'm on right now. Just like this, like nervous energy, like can't even get the words out, but I was present in it all. Like, and to go back to how I pulled out the gospel, it was Lisa who was like, check out the CD. So I pop it in, and it's just this message. It's this message that just spoke to me about the devil will always try and will steal from you, but he doesn't want the material. The devil doesn't want your car, doesn't want the money, it doesn't want what you have, it doesn't want your store. It doesn't want that. It wants your sanity. It wants your body. It wants to take your soul from you. And and that's the moment I realized, like, I'm in this space of like, I just have to surrender to God. Like, that's where I'm at. I have to surrender to God at this moment. Like, it's so many hard things going on. So many opportunities here, but then we're getting declined over here. And then we have, beautiful, loving family over here, but then hate over here. It's just like, and just like, it's just like, so grateful to be here with you guys today.
Grateful to have you.
Thank you for this space.
Of
like,
course.
Thank you so much for this space. And I'm just going through.
You're good. That's what we're here for. Listen, there is space for you. This is what we're here for.
Thank you, God, for this space.
Yeah, of course. Like, thank you for sharing.
I knew, like, I was so nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't. My phone is off today. The day that I need my phone turns off. You know how that goes. But we're gonna get it back on today. Just like, just really growing up.
Yeah.
Growing up.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I was like, I had to get here. I'm here. Ashley needs me. I need Ashley. I'm here, like.
Yeah, and it is crazy too, because like Sal had hit me up. It was like, hey, like I'm running a little. I'm like, listen, like we can make a shorter pod. That's fine, get here safe. That's the most important thing. Like, y'all don't need to be like,
I got here
speeding
whole. Look at
this.
my hat.
Get
Look
here
at me.
safe. Like, that's it. You know what I'm
Look
saying?
at me.
You're beautiful.
got here.
You're out here. You know what I'm saying? You got your spring hat on. You're living.
Still
Spring
like
hat.
through it all. Spring hat. Still waking up, putting on my crystals, doing my dances, singing with my friends in the car. Like still romanticizing my life. Like through it all. You know, just still very happy to just be on this journey and learning, constantly learning, and just like so proud of me. I'm just so proud of me. I'm so proud of us. I'm so proud of me. I'm so proud of just every like affirmations, just affirming that every day, like no matter what, like you're still showing up for yourself each and every day. You've been doing it for the past 3 years, sister. Like it's only up from here.
Yep.
It's only up from here. So
Good morning.
yes.
I feel that too. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's
New York City life. New York City life.
When driving in New York.
Yeah. Just like on top of everything, like, but let's get back to like, where do you want to go with this? Like, where do we go?
Wherever we want to go with it, you know what I mean? Like it's interesting because, you know, even in the last pod, it's like it's toxic / healthy masculinity in the last one. Now it's toxic / healthy femininity in this one. And like this could apply to gender, this could not apply to gender, this could just apply to like energy. And just because everybody has the masculine and feminine, if you don't feel comfortable calling that yin yang, if you don't feel comfortable calling that positive, negative, light, dark, whatever feels good for you, you know, and it's just to like address those aspects. And it's like, you know, we got into the giving, we got into the taking, we got into a lot of different aspects in the last one. And like this one, I just feel like however we want to go off the cuff, you know, like we could start with, I asked y'all, you know, I love that y'all gave me such great answers, and then I felt bad that I had to keep shortening them to fit them into the speech bubbles because y'all had such great answers.
Yeah.
So I just want to hold space. Like, let's start off with healthy. Like, what does healthy femininity look like for you?
So healthy femininity is, for me, is just being vulnerable in your skin, like really embracing what it is that you have to give to yourself, like first yourself, but not, you know, trying not to lose yourself in the external and really going inward and finding the internal always. And like for women, I feel like when we come from I'm gonna go into some places now. So I feel like for women, it's hard for us to tap into healthy femininity when we have traumas and wounds with our fathers. A lot of it is coming from a patriarchal and that side of masculine, like just being what's going on in this society with the masculine energy and how. This is such a tough conversation because it's like I don't want to look at it as masculine, feminine. I want to look at it as in just overall a being who, like, not even looking at it as a male or female, but just like as a being, just as a whole, like what causes these toxic traits and these healthy traits. And I think it stems from your childhood. It stems from your upbringing. It stems from your ancestral and karmic and a lot of that. And, you know, just, I agree. I see the way that you have to put it in order for, you know, the masses to understand. But that was one thing that Lisa was mentioning to me yesterday was like, why do we look at it as feminine? And like, maybe we should just redefine it for me. So that's where I was just like, yeah, I think it's just a toxic being and it's being unhealthy, being, you know, just like, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
If it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, just, I feel, you know, healthy femininity for me is just really just everybody has it in them. Like even meeting someone who, like, my ex didn't have, I don't know what he had. I just know that he didn't dance and let loose and have fun and tap into, you know, was always like, oh, that's gay. And meeting someone like Antonio, who is just like dances and just like is so like just so, but he's still a gentleman, he's still a manly man. So it's like, but he's still like a vibe and just like so free with himself. So, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely, being able to tap into that femininity, like that energy. I feel like just to like also give space for it, like in the identification of these two podcasts is like, so how I understand the feminine to be would be like, you know, like obviously like this half of the cup, right? Yeah. It would be the receptivity, you know, where or the yin, you know, the darkness, right? Yeah. As the masculine would be the giver, the light. You know, and like darkness doesn't equate to bad. It equates to, you know, nighttime. Nighttime isn't bad. It's just a little darker. Is a different hint, you know, more subconscious, right? Yeah. More intuitive, more emotional in that way. Mm-hmm. And then there's like the masculine, which is more the physical, you know, more the mental and stuff that. Yeah. Just to bring the definitions to that. So like,
and I love this. This is so fire.
Shout out.
It.
I forgot the artist's name, but I need to find out and give it to y'all. I had gotten this cup like 5-6 years ago, and it was an incredible artist I had met at a really great holistic event. But yeah, you know, so
beautiful cup.
Thanks for stepping out of it today. You know, you were the one in the middle, so you brought it all together.
I got that. I lucked out.
Yeah, so it's like, with that being said, like, you know, bringing it into like, you know, healthy femininity. I would love to hear also what is your scope on that energy, whether that's like. And also, I just wanted to say, like, you know, we threw around the word gay, so let's just talk about happy Pride, everybody. Yeah, you know Pride. What I'm saying? Not even just in June, like, be gay all year round, right? Like, be gay every day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm gay for the Lord. I am gay. Like, what?
So I just want to give, like, a little quick shout out to, you know, to anybody listening who's feeling extra, you know, in the Pride mood today. But
my best friend, she's coming down from North Carolina, Tati. We're going to the Pride Parade. It's on the same day as her birthday. We're turning up this year. I don't care.
That's what's up.
Working on it. Yes.
But yeah, I actually think you were onto something I like that you said. I think you kind of were about to say that you might not know exactly why you feel that way, or why you might not know exactly why someone's not in their feminine, but there is kind of an innateness there just to know. Just to being open to feeling, which is kind of already feminine, you know, healthy feminine. So the irony there of just not even having to try or having, you know, we'll break it down for you on the pod, but you could just know, you could just feel, you know, so I think that's pretty cool.
Just that. Yes. Thank you, Lisa, for pinpointing that yesterday. And I sat with it and I resonated with it. And I'm like, oh boy, I took it. I just didn't know. I received it, but I didn't know how to like word it. You know, that's just, I feel everything. I feel it, you know. I love this, Rare. But thank you for actually like hearing me and listening. Like,
yeah,
thank you for this space. Like,
plus, a lot of people can relate to that. You know, a lot of people listening might not know exactly. You know, that could be why they're listening in the first place. There could be some curiosity there to put words to feelings. Yes. You know,
put words to feelings. That's been my toughest challenges in life is the communication, words to feelings. Like, I feel so much.
Can we give a roll call on our signs real quick?
Yeah, I'll start. So I'm a Pisces, Sun, Rising Leo, Moon Leo.
Not us all Leo risings on this show.
What? Wait, what? No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. All Leo risings?
Yeah, all of us.
All Leo risings.
All three of us.
Lord Jesus, you know what you do.
The sun is out today. Us. That's why solar plexus was here with us. Help.
My business partner is a Leo, Leo Moon. We have Lisa Leo Moon. Antonio's a Pisces. He's a Pisces sun.
It's the Lisa Leo Moon. I think that might have to be a new nickname.
Lisa Leo Moon.
It just rolled off the tongue. Like.
Leo Moon. Hey. Leo Moon. Hey.
Oh shit!
This is why I've been trying to go out with you, sis. Yo,
we got it.
We gotta turn up.
Yeah,
no, Lisa's in on that too.
That's it. Yep.
Shout out all Leos for sure.
Leos are warriors. Let's go.
So what is your signs?
Right, while we're on it, Taurus sun, Pisces moon, Leo rising.
Oh, Pisces moon, cool. And Leo rising, yes.
And y'all know
Good
me.
combos.
Cancer sun, Libra, moon, Leo rising.
Oh my
You know,
gosh, it's
so.
the Libra moon for me.
It's the Libra moon for me too, yeah. But you know, I got Earth in me a little bit in my outskirts. I got Virgo Mars. Thank God.
You're so grounding though. It's like you just being like.
She said, "Are you sure?"
I'm like to y'all, you know what I mean?
Maybe.
But like, yeah.
That's all that matters. That's what.
Yeah, you know, I gotta spend extra time like taking my shoes
your
off.
client. We're your client. You speak like you sell to me. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm picking up what you put down.
Yeah, I'm happy that it resonates like that. I just try like in regards to like even which I still want to give you space to give your words of like healthy femininity. That to me like healthy femininity is like to be able to receive people in full. To like really receive people as they are. Without trying to taint them or paint them anything else. To create a safe space. For people to just exist as them and embrace them and support them in that. That is like what I view as healthy femininity for sure.
Yeah.
I want to like give it back to you, give you back the mic. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, for a man, it's like you kind of have to want it for sure. You have to understand the society that you grow up in. You're definitely not programmed, but you're definitely conditioned to shy away from just that idea as a whole, right? Being more open, being more loving, accepting whatever that means for you, there is an element of wanting it and just allowing it, embracing it, But yeah,
allowing
that's
it,
important.
embracing it, absolutely.
Yeah, that's all. It's all feminine that way. Like it's just that receptivity, like
being
as
soft, going inward, being soft with yourself.
being soft, but also being like destructive. Like there's also destroying in femininity. Like it's like there's the creativity, like creative innately. Obviously, like we can all create, like right, like we can all create in the way of like whether our bodies, our minds, whatever. Like we can create, and like when I think of like create and destroy, is like as far as like yin and yang, I think of yin more as the destruction that needs to take place. Like even if you boil it down to like people that identify as like womb carriers with having, our menstruation, like we're destroying something each month, and there's a sacredness and sanctity in destruction, because in order to make space for things that are good for you, that are healthy for you, you need to destroy the things that aren't, and there's like a lot of beauty in that. And I like to give space to that too. Like some people call it the dark feminine or things like that, and like people get spooked by things. So I don't like to just like identify. It's just, it's whatever you feel it is, you know what I mean? Like when it's that time to like do that spring cleaning, and just cut that shit out, and you're creating that space for you to receive the things that are for you, and like that's innately and the feminine aspect and that polarity. So yeah, with that being said, what is y'all views on toxic femininity? What does that look like or feel like?
I'll let you take the wheel.
Sure.
I'll follow.
Yeah.
We switch it up this time.
Where to begin? Toxic femininity. I think maybe my first kind of thing that I gravitate towards is just the feeling of it. Like there is like if I see it or if I feel it on somebody, it just feels a little uncomfortable, more so for them, like feeling it third person for them, There could be a bunch of reasons. It could be trauma based, it could be fear based. But there's definitely a feeling that something is off, that a person could accept more, could have more love towards a situation, could have empathy, or just in general could have more radiance for themselves in a room when they're around people, kind of the way that you carry that, the way that you carry yourself, maybe just checking in on your life at the moment and addressing what needs to be addressed. And if you're not, maybe kind of how that can come up physically, Yeah. There's a lot of ways that could happen, For
sure.
Yeah, toxic. I see it as like just being toxic to oneself, like not respecting your boundaries, whether that be like even right now, like I am in so much pain on my right side. Just to be fully transparent, like I'm so much in pain on my right side, with some nerve pain because we went skating. We went skating a couple of weeks ago and I fell and hit my head, and ever since then I've been having like pain. And I'm like, I'm not listening to my body. this is me being toxic. I got to relax. I got to sit down. I have to, you know, breathe and give and do what I need to do for myself in order to give back. But no, I'm just chasing.
Well, it's wild because it's on the right side of your body, which is the right side of your body is the masculine side of your body. So it's like how I view that is like, you know, even in the way of like you're overexhausting it in that way, where it's like you're overexhausting putting actions, and shifting into the feminine might be something that could be really beautiful for you at this time.
Yep, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I'm just like, and like even my best friend Gray, she is like so in her feminine, and she's so in her feminine with the way she dresses and she sings and she listens to music, and the way she's on the beach and she's dancing and she's just like in her realm. And I watch her, I'm like, I'm so like, I love the way how you just cater to yourself, how you just let go and you cater to yourself. And that's something I always admire her in her. You know, she's such a warrior in that aspect, that she could just go in her and just be so like feel in liberation in her and who she is, you know, and that's what I'm seeking that now. I've been on that journey seeking that. Yeah, I feel like we have and then we have amazing people around us to remind us that it's within us. It's within us. What I see in you, I can see it in myself. We are all equal, and we all possess we all possess a light within us, no matter what. And everybody's a reflection. So when I'm here, you meet somebody who is where, you know, where you may.
And that doesn't make it okay, no, but does it make it a thing? Yeah. Yes. And it's just like having that understanding and compassion is me tapping into my femininity to deal with the toxic feminine energies that happen around. Yes. You know, it's like if people can't receive you, most likely they can't receive themselves. So, you know, just putting space to that. And I feel like, you know, that's just like, that's a thing. And then also like, you know, tapping into like veering into more depthful into the conversation is just like, you know, in order to, I feel like one is just absolutely needed. You know, when you think of feminine, you think of curved lines. When you think of masculine, you think of straight angles, right? And like we were talking about in the podcast previous with Aunt Willow, like shout out to them. You know, that episode we were talking about, especially towards the end, like it's the other, like not only in like relationship dynamics, like not only like hetero, gay, whatever, like it doesn't, not even like that. Like, yes, that's important, but like we need it from ourselves first. Like we need it from within ourselves. Like as a person who does readings, like I constantly, like if I'm doing traditional and like the lover's card comes out, everyone's like, oh my God. Like, who is it? You know, and I'm like, that's you and you, bro. Like, come on, you know? And it's like, that's you and you, because it usually comes out with something that's like telling this story and painting this picture of like how this person needs to tap into what they need to find balance in within themselves in order to even be open to receive the love that they're seeking, right? Because it's coming from within. Once you start feeling that and filling that up within yourself, then innately it becomes all around you. And then you gotta, you know, figure out what you actually want, but you have to know what you don't want, right, as well. And that's just a part of like tapping in with all of that. And something that I've noticed with like for myself in my journey with my femininity, especially right now at this time in my life, I feel like the more I have experienced people like secure in their femininity, regardless of like their gender, preference, or whatever, like just the people around me specifically being acceptant of their own femininity has had and created a safe space for me to like express my femininity and like be around in it and like dance in it and like be free in it.
A lot of dancing
like
today.
it's just
That's
like
true, though. It is a safe space for sure. You definitely feel it off of somebody.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because it's like also because I'm tapping into it within myself. You know, it's like I'm tapping into it within myself, and then it's being like received. Like it's like, oh, there's a space for this here, rather than like a forcefulness. And I feel like the same thing with that is like if my masculine has a safe space to exist, my feminine is like, I'm here too. Like
Hey,
what's up? Like I'm like, you know. But like I feel like also, you know, just that scale of tipping. Like we're in a society that's so. When I say toxic masculine, what I mean is like so overgiving, so like hyper individualized, so like everybody has to get it on their own, hustle culture, this, that, and the third, you know what I'm saying? Like by any means. And it's like whether regardless of your gender or whatever, like it's a lot of people are just in that energy and we have to shift out as like the feminine energy is knowing. It's not demanding, it's commanding. Demanding is a child having a temper tantrum. Commanding is I already know that's mine. It's on its way. Like I trust that process, you know? And it's like within that is just, it takes patience and take poise, you know.
Write that
grace.
down, guys. Write that down. Everything I want is already, what did you say? How did you say? I already lost it.
I don't know.
It's
just rewind y'all.
that.
Rewind y'all. Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, it's on its way. It's already on its way.
It's already on its way.
Yeah.
And just, it's already on its
Thank
way.
you.
Everything I want is already on its way. 50 times on a paper, 50 times on a paper, 50 times. Pick out that journal, cry in that journal, sit there. I'm telling you, it will fast track it. That's the hack. That's the life hack right there. Journaling.
Yeah. And for people that don't really have the space to journal like that, have like some people have a harder time like writing paper, you know, just verbalizing it, even voice noting. You know, making that space. I listen to
subliminal affirmations on YouTube, like a very calming, and it just has like powerful messages in the background. Some people will be like, "Oh, that's scary," but this is a trusted subliminal. So, and it has been really just opening me up to and allowing me to really call in amazing things.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing your little like hacks
I
and
got a bunch of hacks.
Thank you for putting us on. You know,
I got a bunch of hacks. Make sure another hack that's really great. Grounding down, taking off those shoes and get your ass outside. Get your ass outside and hydrate.
Yeah, for sure. And something that I learned recently too is that if you're walking outside and like say you're like hiking and you don't want to take your shoes off because you're like hiking in somewhere that's like hard terrain, if you just walk with a walking stick, you take the like a branch, you find a branch, and you when you're holding it, it grounds you too. The same because it's like of the earth. Yeah, so. Like when you're
copper jewelry and just ground down any way you can, clear white clear quartz, all the quartz. Wait, I gotta get you some basics. You guys gotta come by CG Candle Collection at the Empire Outlet Mall and grab you a clear quartz bracelet. Grab you a clear quartz.
Put the plug in.
Crystal quartz for your desk. Okay, grab you a beautiful crystal candle holder. We just got crystals. You still got any candles left?
Yeah. They're like,
you should have been lighting one right here.
Yeah, I have it over there, but I just didn't feel like I wanted to today. Yeah, it got lit last night, and I was just like, it's kind of just holding that energy for that.
Yes.
And like sometimes it depends. Like some episodes I light a candle, other times I don't. You know,
I always light candles, and I own a candle store. I love incense. That's my thing. Like I just love a good incense and a good like calming burn. So.
For sure.
Sandalwood.
So how do you guys express your femininity? How do you feel like when you're tapping? Like what brings you into that space? Like what is bringing you there, and what does it look like when you're there?
So I feel like yoga definitely helps me really just be in that space of just like listening to my body and really just it helps me go just slowing down, sis. Pay attention to your body, pay attention to who you are, like just pay attention to what's going on within me. And that's like, you can tell that I haven't done yoga in a few days because my body will tell me, get back to yoga, get back to it. You need it, you need it, get back to it. So definitely yoga and just being outdoors, sightseeing and just grounding down, yoga and grass. That's been my favorite thing. Like no mat, just in the grass. Just really grounding. So hippie.
That's beautiful. That's
True.
great.
Outdoor is a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be outdoors right now. Like just want to swim and be on the ocean, be in the beach, you know, just like. Gotta go. I missed the new moon ceremony, so the full moon
It's
ceremony.
okay. You're all good.
Happens.
Yeah. No, you come whenever it resonates, whenever it aligns. Listen,
Yes.
there's one every month.
My friend Maxine went to one. She was like, she's like so beautiful. She loved it.
Yeah,
She
she's
loved
great.
it.
I love her.
She's like,
She's awesome. Shout out to
Going.
Maxine.
Yeah, she's like, we gotta start going together. I'm like, I know, Maxine. Next time I'm coming. I'm going.
Yeah, well, I need to put it out like not the day before, and then
Yeah,
maybe you'll
yeah,
have
I
some
was like,
advance.
damn
Yeah.
At least you put it out.
Mm-hmm.
At least you put it out. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to get
And whoever's
shifted
there.
because we were gonna be at the beach yesterday, but then
Mhm.
and the
Remember,
sky
I
is
did the
set. So.
the New Year's that was last minute, and you still showed up, and you
And that was
so
exactly what I
beautiful.
needed.
Yeah,
That's
you
it.
needed
Yeah,
at the
me and
time.
Tenny, that was exactly what we
right
needed.
the yoga, the heart chakra opening, the yoga heart chakra opening, then right into the
Vision board.
the vision boards,
Yeah.
and just vibing.
I've been thinking about my vision board recently. I want to add a little bit to it. It's
yeah.
been like
I've been adding to mine every day, like in real time, still adding to my vision board. Do you
That's
have a
what's up.
vision board?
Not yet.
You gotta.
I'll get there.
Yeah, whatever resonates.
And I do mine on Canva. I do it on Canva too. Like just on my phone, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So it is looking like how do you tap into your femininity, and what does it look like when you're there?
Well, dance has definitely helped for me. That's a big one for sure. You'll get steps that you're not ready to learn. You'll stretch on days that you're not ready to stretch. They'll give you life lessons on days that you're not ready to receive life lessons. Kind of just like a motherly forcing in a good way. Just like you're not ready to learn this, but I love you and we got this. Let's do this. You know, and it's hard to say no to that in the best way. Definitely puts you in a place where you just feel like I may not be positive about this, but let me just receive and take it from there and kind of see how that will affect me for tomorrow or the day after. It's a big one.
You're saying yes to yourself, and you're like allowing always say thank you, body, thank you for what you're giving to me today. Thank you for what I'm, what you're guiding me and carrying me to do. Like
That's a great point.
Yeah.
When you just like when life hits you at a moment that you might not be ready, just being ready to receive.
Yeah.
Even if there's some caution there to receive is the important thing.
Yeah.
You know, you might have you might want to hold out for a moment, but just try it and see where it goes from there.
Exactly. Pushing past the fear and trusting in who you are. We got this. Ooh.
For sure.
Look at
For sure.
us.
It's important.
Go us.
I feel like I'm definitely in my feminine if I'm dancing, like
Oh,
for
yes.
sure. Like
It's
I
hard not to.
definitely,
Definitely.
oh my god, like if once I get there, once I get into my feminine, I'm dancing. If I'm not dancing, I'm not in my feminine. Like that I've been like in probably survival mode, and I've been
Survival mode,
having
yeah.
to like be in my masculine or like being like in other areas of just like trying to like make do, but like to feel like freedom. Freedom feels feminine to me.
Yes.
Like the formlessness, of the femininity, like where the masculine is more structure and like security, like an anchor, like that masculine force is like you're safe to be here, like, and this is like the container, and then the feminine's like, I'm gonna fill the container up with like all of this,
All this fun shit. All this fun and cool stuff.
Yeah, like, and it's
Yeah.
really cool because it's like to have that space within our own minds, to have that within our own communities and people and relations, and like you just see the dance of like how that flows and how that looks, and the different currents. It's like it's electricity, literally, it's science.
Yes.
And it's
Vibration.
alchemy, and witnessing that and being a part of that, like it flows when you're like in that space, when you feel like that like, oh, okay, like I can kind of like show all of me, navigate and be received in this, and like, and I receive myself in this, and I love myself in this, and like this is
Yes.
fucking lit,
And life is amazing I just literally get paid. I'm rewarded for living and just being on this earth and living with other humans, and life is so rewarding, and the divine is just amazing.
Yeah, and just
and the
like
divine, and I am the divine. I am the divine.
absolutely, and just
know?
like bringing it all together and like looking at that, like
I
you
am
know
divine.
that sun and moon energy too. Like you know, once again, masculine, feminine. Sun would be masculine, moon would be feminine.
Yeah.
Like tapping into that moon energy. Like what does that look like? There's light in the darkness. You know, the moon illuminates in the darkness, but then it also stays dark in the darkness. It has phases. It has transitional moments, like something, you know, I think that is absolutely phenomenal. And now I'm going to talk about the female body for a second, because I just want to give space to that, because this system right here, crazy. Like, yo, I got my blood taken not too long ago, and I was looking at the different scales, and there was this guy, I think I talked about it on one of the pods prior, where it was like, first of all, every time you meet a woman, right, we're in a different season every week, you know, like, and like there was one where it was like in the scope for like the luteal phase, menstrual phase, ovulation, and oh my god, why am I forgetting the other one? Forgive me, women, forgive me, everyone. Like
I know.
luteal, menstrual, ovulation, follicular. Yes, follicular. And in those spaces, like the scales are astronomically different. Like it's crazy. Like if then if you're pregnant, it's even more. Like the scales for each week. If I were to get my blood taken another week, I would have had to look at a different scale, because what's like 500 could potentially be like 1.5 in a week. Yeah. Like, and that's normal. Like that's crazy. So rather than like looking at everybody as the same, like, no, like let's embrace the fact that we're different. Like there are differences, like physiologically, and like these different things are like fucking cool. You know, like how can we honor that? How can we be like, wow, like, okay, you know, like men, you know, y'all operate on like the on the sun, and every 24 hours you regulate, you know, every 28 days we regulate. So it's just a difference. Nothing is greater or less than, it's just a difference. Like there's a role for you, there's roles for people in between. There's all the different aspects of like anybody that has anything in between and that's transitioning to the other side. There are aspects, and these things are just so cool to learn about and to honor, and to be like, wow, like that's fucking dope. And like I just want to give space to that. I want to give space to women. I want to give space to the female body too, just like we gave space to the male body in the other podcast. And it's just like, yeah, you know, like
no, I hear you. And that's why during those phases, like as a woman, just being very informed on what those phases are, so you know what to give your body and what you need, what your body needs during those times, so you know how to thrive and get through that. You know, I'm big on herbs and just using herbal medicine to just, you know, really complement me in every day. Tea. Absolutely. Just as simple as tea. Like, absolutely. Why not, you know? Yeah. Just for you, for your body. Just
to honor your phases, and just to honor the different aspects of that. And then for people who aren't women, you know, or don't identify as women, to be able to also hold space for women, you know what I mean, that are going through those different processes and what that looks like, you know. Just because you aren't a woman or don't identify as a woman doesn't mean you don't have the ability to hold space for that, just as we should with men and the different things that y'all go through. And, you know, and it's just like really cool, you know, to tap into that and to give genuine support. You know, like we can sit here and we can unpack toxic femininity, and we can go in and out and like be like, okay, like this is that and this is that. We all know what it is, period. Like, you know what it is, because it don't feel good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like toxic masculinity is machismo. Like toxic femininity is fucking bitchy. And it's not only bitchy, it's like, you know, when it's really in its toxic, it's like venom. It's the most like depthful, boiling skin thing where like you can be told something. You don't even have to be told something. You'll be looked at in a certain way, and that poison like will seep into you if you allow it. You know what I'm saying? But and then what is the antidote? The antidote is that love. It's that compassion. It's just that
opening up the heart space
for sure, and just being able to see like, yo, this person might not have that compassion within themselves. That's why they're trying to do that. So I'm just be like, I'll put my shield up real quick, because I'm also not gonna sit here and like let my compassion let me be susceptible to the poison that you're spewing at me. But I know it's the antidote, and I'm gonna give it to myself. I'm gonna offer it to you, You know what I'm saying? If you choose to take it, you choose to take it. But I'm going to offer it to you by literally just embodying doing that for me.
There you go.
And that's what I feel like once I like started shifting out of like trying to like fix it for everybody, fix it for the feminine. Like I had a really hard time growing up with like with women. Like I always gravitated towards like hanging out with more men. I always wanted to have like relations with women. And it was just like a lot of envy, a lot of, jealousy and things like that, which I thought was crazy because like I didn't even know. Like I never thought I had anything to be jealous of. Like when people would be like, that person's jealous of you, I'm like, what do you mean? Why? Like I'm fucking traumatized, bro. Like what the fuck? Like why would anybody want to be like jealous of me?
You never know what the other person is actually truly going through. You just see you
just see the projection of
And you will not project that onto me.
And it's selfish too, because it's like people want what you have, but don't want to understand what you experienced to get there. Because y'all don't want this trauma. I could tell you that. I wouldn't wish it on the worst person in the world. So y'all don't want that, right? Okay, but you want what I've been like, my blood, sweat, and tears, and the things that I've been like doing my hardest to even just continue to move on in my life. Like, I'm not even going to be mad at you. I'm just going to understand and give compassion and space for that, because at the end of the day, that means that you're not even paying attention to yourself. Right. So there's already neglect there. So you're already in an abusive relationship with yourself, probably because it's coming from that space of wherever your childhood looked like. So it's now perpetuating the trauma not only to other people, but you're perpetuating within yourself.
Right.
So all I can do is just offer you the opportunity to witness my embodiment and hold that space for you if you do come.
Yep. Just send my prayers, blessings, and we all go through it. We all have it. I mean, everybody has...
Oh, no. I just wanted to see what time it was. Yeah.
No, say, yeah. You just spoke, like, everything. You just said it all. You really just said it all. Like, exactly for what it is. Like, you have to just go inward and just really just focus on what's in front of you. Focus what is in front of you. That is what truly matters.
Absolutely.
That's the most important, because you did it for you, nobody else. Mm-hmm. Okay, they have better. Okay, they have what it may seem like they have. They're working for it just like you. Mm-hmm. Everybody's working for it.
Absolutely.
So.
What do you think that could be better, like as support, to just like give space for like that feminine energy? What do you think would be better that you would like to see in the community more?
Say that one more time.
What do you think that could benefit, not only like just like this spaces for feminine energy to exist, whether that's spaces for women to support women or people who identify as women, and or spaces for just feminine energy to exist, like, things like dancing, things like that. Like, how can we bring these healthy things that we know really benefit and open up space for, that feminine energy to exist within all people? So how can you see that?
I got something ready to come right off the tongue. I honestly feel like let's just from a standpoint of being a female, being a woman entrepreneur, let's start there. Mm-hmm. That's where it really starts, because women are powerful when they come together, when we vibrate and it doesn't have to be on the same vibration, but we got to vibrate towards the same vibration, or whatever the case may be. And I think that starting with just other women in business in Staten Island have to come together, need to work through their traumas and the things that have been taken from them, and look at what they can give themselves by just embracing other women and not letting the society, not letting the pressure, not letting the ego, not letting money, not letting the devil come in between what women and our intuitive and our ability to cultivate, not let that alter or hinder our magic. And I really could go till I'm blue in the face, but it's not until and talk about it, but it's not until you're ready to do it for yourself. And I think women, we should start there. That should be the first thing. We could do the yoga, we could do the dancing, we could do the sis and love, but it starts from this is bigger than us. This is bigger than us. Understand that. This is way bigger than us. Mm-hmm. So let's just it's crazy.
Yeah. create those spaces, like
create those spaces. That's where it has
sure.
to start. And that's why I was so grateful to even connect with you and all the, like, just coming to Staten Island on a whim. Like, God just was like, Staten Island, just picked me up from Long Island and said, boom, Staten Island. And I was like, Staten Island of all places? Really, God? Really? What are you trying to? And then it just.
It's the Island Connect.
There's actually some irony there for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe we could note like welcoming more. I think there's some work to be done collectively, either getting people in a room as best as we can, getting women to connect more in person, not on social media as much as we can. I have noticed, like from past experience, that even just looking at people, the way they've interacted alone with me in groups of people, and then in more safer spaces that I've seen them in, people really want to feel welcomed. Mm-hmm. You know, there's, you know, especially you're doing your best to put the resources out there, but sometimes people don't know how to take for themselves. Yeah. You know, how can we get as many people in a room to feel welcome and safe? You know, how can we get them there? You know, and like she literally welcomes you here. Yeah. So Staten Island, you feel?
And that's
how that happened.
I was like so welcomed by so many people, like so welcomed by just Staten Island in general. I saw it as like such a beautiful opportunity.
It's like not like a thing that happens a lot.
To see like the beautiful and such ugly. I'm like, of course, like, and someone like me came, and still even through all the trials, I'm still like, I really like, I want my business to thrive in Staten Island. Like I'm here to stay. Like, no, like this is, you know, this is where it's needed, you know? So I'm just so grateful. Just
we're happy to have you here.
Yes. Thank you for welcoming me to Staten Island.
Of course. Yeah, I wanted to also ask you, you know, like as a man, how do you feel like men can also have a safe way to tap into their femininity? You know, like what do you think, like, you know, once you push past the machismo and all these different things, like what are ways that, you know, because I love when men tap into their femininity. I'm like, oh my God, look at you being whole. Look at you being whole. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, I love that. But like, how's that journey been for you? And like, what are ways or tips and things like that?
I think this actually ties into something you were saying before that I wanted to touch up on, which is for a lot of men, their idea of masc-femme balance is the person that they're with. And while that's amazing in that connection with that person, you're still going to want that for sure, 100%. Just noting that that's not the same thing as having a masculine-feminine balance within yourself, you know? You could look for that energy in other people, but then when everyone goes home at night and it's just you, you know, and your shower or your bedroom or wherever you stay at, that's a different story. That's when all of a sudden you need to know how to be intimate with yourself, know how to take those moments. Whether that in the moment that could be just thinking about your day. It could be reflecting on the situation you had with the person that day, if you were open or not in that moment. There's a lot of ways that you can go about it. But I think generally for men, wanting it is the biggest thing. Maybe even being more educated on knowing what it would get them, because I don't think men know what they could get out of it. Because they're fighting so hard what it's going to look like on the outside to the people around them. That might even just be confidence, you know? Men can be very confident in the things that they're confident in, but having maybe a general all-around confidence for just being open to growth, you know? That might not be what they're working on right now in their masculine, you know? But do both. The answer is always both.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like even like what she said just reminded me too, like if communication, action, right, articulation of our thoughts would be masculine, then feminine would be listening and receiving. So I feel like even just taking that time, if you needed to tap in, whether regardless of your gender or anything, like if you want to tap into that femininity, I think practicing listening, maybe not speaking as much and just listening, really just like receiving people in full. There's times where I like fast from speaking because like I could chat. Like I could really chat. And like when I just listen and just receive, that's like
so that's
very
what that
feminine.
Is. That's fasting from speaking, when I just don't even feel moved to open my mouth.
Yeah, I mean, it depends.
From speaking.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's how I've just been more like quiet. Just
like, sometimes you don't feel
taking it in.
Yeah, you don't feel the need to add to things because it's just like, you know, it's your time to receive it. And then that's whatever medicine that you're supposed to give. And a lot of times that's the medicine that people just need to be heard. Not everybody needs to be spoken back to. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, thank y'all so much for coming onto the pod and speaking on this. Is there anything else that you wanted to touch on before we come to a conclusion?
Oh, man. Well, I just want to send healing energy to everyone. And throughout this, like the rest of this week and this weekend, have a beautiful weekend. Come by the CG Candle Collection store at Empire Outlet Mall and come and enjoy the weekend with us. We have such a beautiful space that we want to share with everybody and, you know, just enjoy the views and relax. The space is so relaxing. You got to come there. You got to come check us out. You got to come check us out now.
Yeah, for sure.
Ashley's that's her spot now. That's like her second home. Like, whenever you need a retreat, you know, you just come by. Just come by. You know, you got family there.
For sure. It's such a beautiful, safe space. Definitely check them out.
Thank you.
Yeah, cheers. Is there anything that you wanted to share, Sal? Well, first, cheers to healthy balances within ourselves, and may that reflect outside of ourselves in a good way like that. Thank y'all for pulling up and for being the embodiment of healthy people in both feminine, masculine, and everything in between. That's why y'all were chosen.
And giving yourself listening to this podcast, being here with yourself and listening to this podcast is medicine. It's medicine. Say to yourself, this is medicine. Don't forget that.
Yeah. And we do it to be closer to each other.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the best part.
Yes. Share open your hearts and receive within your heart space and envision that, you know, and what you, in your meditations throughout daily, just envision your heart being open and receiving, whether that be just flowers, beautiful flowers, you know, gold, rainbows, whatever that be. Just give yourself, or go on a nice, can I say shrooms?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Go on a shroom trip and go ground.
You want to go into the ground and then outside the other side of the universe, sure. But not for everybody. Use your discernment, everyone. Yeah. Find good sources. Pray about it. But yeah.
Oh my gosh. For sure. Thank you so much, Ashley.
Of course. Well, thank y'all so much. I don't know if I have anything else to say other than, like, you know, just the whole intention of these two podcasts were just to, like, give a little bit of separation to bring everything together. You know, don't roast me or come at me because, like, one thing or the other. Like, I genuinely I'm trying to dissect to put together. If there's anything that you feel that doesn't really resonate, you know, leave it there. You know, if it doesn't resonate so much that you want to talk to me about it, pull up. We can talk about it. Like, we could do it on the phone. We could do it in person. I don't really talk to people on comments, but, like, we can just, like, you know, talk on AB conversation. I think that a lot of people don't like to have these conversations because, you know, the world is very sensitive and everybody is very sensitive about everything, which I understand. I'm sensitive as fuck. Like, I'm Cancer. Like, y'all need to understand, like, everything is sensitive to me. So, and one of my biggest fears is to hurt anyone's feelings. So, like, but you can't control how you are perceived, you know? And it's like, if it's anything that, like, smoking weed ever does to me is really make me want to, like, delete everything because I think of how I can be perceived, but then I get reminded how I can't control that. And, you know, so this is me saying to myself now, this is me saying to y'all, this is me saying to high version paranoid of myself that wants to delete the podcast that I'm not going to, because I know what I'm saying and why I'm saying it. I feel confident and grounded in that because I genuinely love y'all. Like, I really love people. Like, I never thought I was going to have a podcast. I didn't even used to listen to them. Like, I'm the podcaster for the people who don't traditionally go on a podcast. I'm the podcaster who didn't know that they would have one. Just because I want to create that and extend that safe space that, you know, I do my best to cultivate in person online so that other people can feel heard, feel validated, feel seen. And yeah, just super open to, like, anything that y'all want to talk about. I want to also just put some light that there is a space that on my link tree that you guys can put any questions or any topics that you want to talk about. You know, feel free to put that in there, you know, and if you are interested in being on the podcast, just hit me up and inquire. I just wanted to plug that stuff in. And before we go, I have a quick moment to just pull some cards for us.
Oh, I didn't know we was getting that at the end.
Yeah, not all of the podcasts, but some of them. Some of them, and today it feels like one of them. But in the time being, can you do me a favor and open up a page?
Any page?
Open up to whatever page that, you know, the feminine energy within us all needs to listen to or hear today. or whenever y'all listen to this, because time transcends on these. You can read it.
Okay. Both pages?
Yeah. If you want to. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be like aggressive about it.
It's cool. Trying to see the right place to start here. If you observe self-destructive people, you will see that they attract people just like them. What do we do if we don't like ourselves? We try to get numb with alcohol to forget our suffering. That's the excuse that we use. Where are we going to get alcohol? We go to the bar to drink, and guess who's going to be there? People just like us who try to avoid themselves also, who also try to get numb. We get numb together. We start talking about our suffering, and we understand each other very well. We even start to enjoy it. We understand each other perfectly because we vibrate in the same frequency. We are both being self-destructive. Wow.
Like,
Received.
just receive. I'm not even going to say nothing on that. Just receive that, y'all. Whoever needs to hear that, receive that, please, in a good way, or whatever way you need. So, yeah. Okay. So, I'm going to pull some cards. Thank you for that. I'm going to pull some cards to just see, like, what is it that, like, you know, everybody who's listening to this here at this time, you know, what is it that we need to hear? What is something that we just generally, I feel like called to pull. These cards were made from a women's circle that I did like 4 years ago, and all women drew these different cards. So that's there. Also, stay tuned. I do intend to bring back up the women's support group, and I'm hoping that I can help find somebody to facilitate a man's support group as well. Yeah, so just stay tuned with that. I'm just really praying on that to get really clear on how to go about it, and see if that could also go online as well as in person. You know, y'all, if y'all know me, y'all know that like to get me online, to get me is like a whole thing. You know what I mean? But like I'm working on it. You know, I'm here. I'm doing the podcast still. Like we're live. You feel me? So like I'm getting better. Thank you for the grace in the space. So yeah, I pray in a good way, Creator, to allow me to be the conduit for whatever messages are needed to be shown here and now for the people that are listening and that are open to receive the messages that need to come through in a great way. May I be protected. May I be clear and grounded and pulling for the collective in a good way like that. Oh. Mm-hmm. Okay. The message for us today is perseverance. So the chakra that we can be focusing on that could be beneficial to find balance is our sacral chakra, that is both masculine and feminine in many ways. So like really tapping into that perseverance of like, yes, if we persevere, then we can get to the things that we need to get to. Simultaneously, like what is in that space that makes us have to suffer so much within ourselves. Like, yes, we can't control what's outside of ourselves, but we can reflect on what's going on within ourselves so that we can find and extract anything that is outdated or bringing us or depleting us or bringing us into that space of survival, shifting it into that feminine energy where we call into that abundant state of mind. We call into that anything that's for me, I know will come to me, you know, and instead of going out with that action of I have to take, like, no, whatever is for you will come to me. So that energy that's coming up is like, yo, it's like a pat on the shoulder, you know, it's like that spirit guide, that person, that whoever it is that loves you, you know, a version of yourself that's just going, and it's just like, yo, honey, like you got this. Like, I trust you. I believe in you. You got this. But also like, take a break. Like, here's some water with lemon. Here's some this. Like, also like go get that pedicure that you think is too expensive for you because you need that. You don't need, you need that foot rub more than you need that $40. So whatever it is that you're sitting there trying to budget or figure out, just giving yourself that space to receive and pamper and be there for yourself. Moving forward, going into success and growth, like success and growth is right around the corner. That's balancing your head, right? Balancing your crown, like going over and be like, yo, sis, like, hold on, can I just move this hat a little bit to the side because I just want to adjust your crown? And like looking at yourself in the mirror, looking at your other people around you and just realizing like that reflection of like, don't hold back if you feel like somebody has mascara under their eyes. You feel me? Don't like have people looking like silly when you know that that's not what they want to look like, right? And I don't mean that just on the physical appearance. I mean that on the emotional one. Have those conversations that are uncomfortable. Hey, like, I feel like you might not be grounded when we were talking about this or doing that, or like whatever the case is. Like, how can I support you and ground you? I hope that you're able to receive this, Hey, are you open to receiving this thing that I want to say? And it's like all that to other people, but also to yourself. So like just being mindful of having those conversations, calling yourself in, calling other people in, not out, not in public. Don't make it a show. It's not a show. It's real life. It's people's emotions. You care? Okay, act like it. Boom. Now moving forward, I am whole, right? This person hugging a tree. Go outside, hug you a tree. Find a tree and ask permission, because get that consent from the tree. You feel good about it. All right, move forward, then hug that tree. Give offerings. You have water, pour some. You have something else, give it. Whatever you feel right. You have some fruit, offer it to the tree. Hug that tree, sync up with that tree, take deep breaths, and just remind yourself that you are whole. You are whole from your feminine, from your masculine, from your light, your dark, your sun, your moon, everything within yourself. It's just the amount of getting out whatever stops you from not feeling whole, whatever stops you from feeling incomplete, clearing that out, detoxing, getting things out of you, not only on a physical note, on a mental detox, on an emotional detox, on a spiritual detox, finding the space, finding the place to make the space of the things that no longer serve you, getting that out. And if you want all that to go, it's just like, you want that flow, it's like that. It's like believe in yourself, trust that everything that you need and want is coming. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because like this card has a tree and then the next one is a tree, right? And as the tree like kind of like translucent on top of that person. And it's like, boom, okay. Now, trusting yourself, moving forward, not giving up, believing that everything that is for you is on its way, but also doing the things that you need to do to make space for those things to come in. You can sit there and talk about manifesting and wanting and doing all the exercises in the world and all the things in the world and thinking that you need to make the space. Like you could be doing all the actions in the world, but if you don't have the space, you are not going to be able to hold on to it. It will leave your hands and then you'll be sad about it and you just fill it with more things that aren't it. So identifying, coming to terms with being patient with yourself, allowing space for grace, for growth, and dance. I'm just gonna throw that in there. That's not even in the cards, so that's just how I feel. Go outside and dance, and give yourself that movement and tap into that femininity and really practice listening. Really practice listening, not only to others but to yourself. So that's what I got for y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in to this pod. Thank y'all so much for pulling up. Immense amount of love for each of you. Thank you for everyone who's listening. And I'll see you next time.
Thank God for actually delivering that. For him, me, and you to deliver that to us. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Of course. The light
within me sees the light within you and in you.
Thank you, sis.
Well said.
Yes.
We'll see y'all next week. Take care.
Cheers, y'all.
Bye.